Hello, and welcome to the Math Connection. My name is Miss Lenz, and we are still on the linear functions topic. So before this, we have gone through two different methods that we could use to graph linear functions. Or, remember, in the word linear is the word line. These are going to be lines when I graph them, okay? So the first method that we have was called just using an input-output table, which you can use for any function. You can always use an input-output table to graph. If you would like a recap of that video, you can click on this link right up here in the corner, and that will recap that for you. So that's our first method, just using an input-output table. But sometimes that method isn't the most efficient method. So our second method was using slope-intercept form, which again, you can click on this link and that will recap that one for you. Slope-intercept form is my favorite form of graphing, and it's more efficient. It's quicker. And all that we're doing there is we're looking at the equation, and it's going to tell us where it crosses the y-axis and then what the slope is, or what the rise and the run is. So we can go from point to point using that rise and that run, or the slope. And today we're going to learn about our third and final method, and it is called using intercepts. But before I get into that, I wanted to talk about what intercepts mean. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull up a coordinate plane here. And I want to show us what intercepts are. So if I just draw a random line on here, I'm going to do it in red. There's my line. This line crosses the y-axis. It crosses it one time. And what that spot is called that it crosses the y-axis, it's called the y-intercept. And that means where does this line hit the y-axis? So I'm just going to circle that in blue. Right here would be the y-intercept because that's where it crosses the y-axis. But lines also have x-intercepts, and that just means the same thing, but instead of where it hits the y-axis, it's where it hits the x-axis. So if I look at where does this line hit the x-axis, which remember is the horizontal one, it would cross it right here, and that would be called the x-axis. So this is one way that we can graph a line. We can find its y-intercept, and we can find its x-intercept, and then we can plot those 2 points and then draw our line through those 2 points, okay? So that's the essence of using intercepts to graph a line. So let's do that. I am going to give us a linear function. Let's see. I am going to go with y equals 2x plus 8. Here's a linear function. And again, I could use those other two methods. I could use slope-intercept form. I could use input-output table. This is just a third option that we might have, okay? So the first thing that we would want to do is we would want to find the x-intercept or the y-intercept. We have to do both of them, okay? So let's just start with one of them. I'm going to start with the y-intercept. So that is what we are going to find first. Now, I'm going to come back to my graph here, and I'm going to look at points that are on the y-axis, and we're going to look at what those points have in common. So I'm just going to pick out random points that are on the y-axis because a line could cross at any of these points. And let's look at what the coordinates of these points are. This is the point 0, 9. This is the point 0, 7. This is the point 0, 0. This is the point 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the point 0, negative 5. This is the point 0, negative 8. If I look at all of those points that I just listed right there, there's something that they all have in common. And that is that the x value is 0. Okay? The x value is 0 in any point that's on that y-axis. So what we're looking for when we're looking for the y-intercept in this one is if I plug a 0 in for x, if I put an x into this machine, what does y have to be? We're looking for the y value when x is 0. So I'm going to plug a 0 in for x, and then I'm going to figure out what y would be. Okay, so let's do that to find the y-intercept. I'm going to use the exact same equation, y equals 2x plus 8, except for I'm going to replace the x with a 0. Y equals 2 times 0 plus 8. And now the only variable that I have left in here is a y. so I can figure out what y is. I just have to simplify on the right-hand side. So on the right-hand side, we got to do our multiplication first. It says the order of operations. 2 times 0 gives me 0. Oopsies. And 0 plus 8 is 8. So y equals 8. So when x equals 0, y equals 8. Another way of saying that would be like a little input-output table. When x equals 0, y equals 8. Or the point 0.8. Or the point 0.8. Okay? So we're going to use that in just a second. So what we just found is the y-intercept. We are going to click save on that for later, okay? Because we need that when we actually get to a graph. But we're not ready for the graph yet because we've only found one of the intercepts. We found where this graph hits the y-axis. It's going to hit it up 8, okay? But we need to do exactly the same thing with the x-axis. We need to find where does this graph or where does this line hit the x-axis. Okay, so my next goal is to find the x-intercept. Oops. Now I'm going to go back to my graph again, and we're going to look at points that are on the x-axis, and we're going to look for something that's similar between them. So here is the point 0, 9. Here is the point 0, 4. Nope. Not 0, 9. This is the point 9, 0. This is the point 4, 0. This is still the point 0, 0. This is the point negative 10, 0. And this is the point negative 6, 0. So if I look at all of those points that I just drew in there, there's something that they all have in common. I was saying a number first and then 0. So the y value in all of these is a 0. So what we want to know for our line or our linear function is this time to find the x-intercept. When y is 0, what is x? When y is 0, what is x? So let's go back here. And I just said when y is 0, what is x? So we're going to use the same equation, the very top one that we were given, y equals 2x plus 8. But what we want to know this time is when y is 0, what is x? So instead of plugging in a 0 for x, this time we're plugging a 0 in for y. When y is 0, what is x? So it's going to look like this. Now it is just a matter of solving this equation. We just need to get x by itself. So the first thing we have to do is subtract 8 from both sides. Those 8's cancel. Negative 8 equals 2x. X is not by itself yet. I still have to get rid of that 2 by dividing. Divide both sides by a 2. X equals negative 4. And what I found right here is my x-intercept. So if I make my little xy table like I did last time, I'm kind of thinking about it a little bit backwards this time. So when y is 0, x is negative 4. If I put a negative 4 in, I'm going to be getting a 0 out. Okay, so this is the point negative 4, 0. And this right here, we are also clicking save for later because we need that point. So 0, 8 is where it crosses the y-axis. That means this line is going to cross it up 8. And then negative 4, 0 is the x-intercept. That's where it crosses the x-axis, which is 4 to the left. So I got to go to a new page. But let's get a coordinate plane here and put all of that information on a coordinate plane so that we can actually graph this line. So here's my coordinate plane. And from our other page, our y-intercept was 0, 8. And our x-intercept was the point negative 4, 0. So now I have all my information. I have my y-intercept, I have my x-intercept, and all I need to do is put this on a coordinate plane. So the y-intercept here is the point 0, 8, which just means up 8. I'm going to put a point there because I know that it has to go through that point. That's where it hits the y-axis. And then looking at my x-intercept is negative 4, 0, which is 4 to the left right here. I know that it has to go through that point because it has to hit the x-axis there. And now I have 2 points that are on this line, and now I can connect my points and draw a straighter line in, but draw a straight line in, and there is the graph for that line. So using intercepts to graph a linear function is what we just got done doing, okay? Let's do one more of these. I'm going to give us a different looking equation. Let's do f of x equals 1/2 x plus 3. This one might be a little uglier, and that's okay. So let's look at this one. We want to start by finding those two things. What is the y-intercept and what is the x-intercept? Let's start with the y-intercept. Okay. Oops. So to find the y-intercept, we said we want to know what is y when x is 0. So we're plugging a 0 in for x. So now this looks a little bit different. And remember, this is what I said earlier. F of x is the same as y. So in this one, it might be a little bit easier to rewrite this as y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Then we have the x's and y's to look at. That's what I'm going to use for this one. So we want to say, what is y when x is 0? So I'm going to use that equation, y equals 1/2, but instead of x, I'm going to plug in a 0. I want to know what is y when x is 0. 1/2 times 0 plus 3. Okay, now I just need to simplify. I need to get y by itself, which it is by itself. I just need to simplify on this side. So the first thing I have to do is that multiplication that's in front. 1/2 times 0. Anything times 0 is 0. So we just get y equals 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 is just a 3. So I'm going to write that down as a point. This is the point 0, 3. I put a 0 in for x and I got a 3 for y. So what this means is this is the y-intercept. That means up 3 on the y-axis is where this line is going to hit that axis, that y-axis, okay? Let's do the same thing but for x. We're going to find the x-intercept. So we're going to use that same equation, but this time we want to know what is x when y is 0. It's just backwards from the last one. Instead of putting a 0 in for x, now we're putting a 0 in for y. 0 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Now, this one's a little bit harder to solve for x, which is fine. We just need to get x by itself. So let's start with what we know. I know that I need to get rid of this plus 3, so I'm going to subtract it. Subtract 3 from both sides. This will cancel. Negative 3 equals 1/2 x. Now, I need to undo or to get rid of that 1/2. Couple ways you can think about this. You could divide by 1/2, but instead of dividing a fraction by a fraction, I think it's way easier to just multiply by the reciprocal. So let's multiply by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is just 2 over 1. And we're going to do that on both sides. So 1/2 times 2 over 1, these 2's are both going to cancel, and I'm just left with all 1's, which is just 1. And I don't need to have that anymore because 1 times x is just x. So by multiplying by 2, I got rid of the 1/2 and I just have x on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have to remember how to work with fractions. 2 over 1 is exactly the same thing as 2, if you recognize that. Or we can put the negative 3 over 1, multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Either way we do it, we're going to get a negative 6, possibly over 1, which remember you want to simplify that, just a negative 6. X equals negative 6. And I am going to write the point. So x is a negative 6. That means if I drop a negative 6 in, I'm going to be getting a 0 out. My pen's not working. So the point negative 6, 0 is my x-intercept, and that means to the left 6 is where this line is going to cross or hit that x-axis. So now I have all my information. I have my y-intercept, I have my x-intercept. My last step is just to put this on a coordinate plane. So let's grab that. Here is our coordinate plane. And let's put our points on here. Okay, so our y-intercept, where does this line cross our y-axis? It crosses it at 0, 3, so I'm going to go up 3 and I'm going to put a point. Right there is my y-intercept. That's where it hits that y-axis. This point down here, negative 6, 0, is my x-intercept. Like we said, to the left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's that point right there. Now I know where it hits the y-axis, and I know where it hits the x-axis, and it has to go through both of those points. And there's only one way I can draw a line through those points, and it's like that. There is the graph of this function, which remember we said is a linear function. Okay? So that is our third and final method of graphing, and it's just using intercepts to graph a linear function. If you would like to see either of the other two methods, you can go ahead and click on one of these videos, and that will go through each one of those methods for you. And I'm also going to make a recap video that goes through all three methods in the same exact video. Okay? If these videos have been helpful for you, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you soon.